the next day I went along, and there it was at the book. I was sure how he was up, I got it, I thought,
Right, we'll get started, guys. I'm going to try and continue on this. Yesterday was about the tree, right? It's all about the tree. Every culture had the tree, they all showed the tree. Some of them showed a lot of things in the tree, but we miss it. And I mentioned yesterday how that represents Horus or Osiris sitting down, the Son of God, which is what we are, man. And there's he's showing his hand, there's a door, it's a cage, it's a doorway. That's what he's showing. You know how you see the pictures of the Egyptians like that, they all stand like that, and doing, what's that all about? It's about holding up the heavens, it's about the heavens, and it's about aligning with the heavens, aligning ourselves. So he's showing you here a direction, a gate. People can miss this because I've looked at it so much. It's everywhere. It's in all the, whether it's Hindu and you know, whatever. It's all the same. They all have this. They have it reversed sometimes because they are. I don't know where we are on the earth. Sometimes it's reversed.
Trickery.
It's tricky. I think it is tricky. That's what I think it is. Sometimes on the
They don't want us to know what they already know.
That's what it is. It's tricky. So they'll show images and it's just flat. Because the other thing as well, when we look up in the sky, and this is what's hard for people to get their head around, we don't all know the order of the, you know, like we know maybe like Virgo, Leo, Libra, but it's actually flat in the sky sometimes. Well, it is, the journey's flat. So the houses are actually in reverse when we look up from Britain. If we look up from Britain, the houses are in reverse. So that's, and the imagery, they have them reversed sometimes. It's tricky, so that we don't know. And they've stopped us looking up, so we're not going to know. But if we only looked up, we'd see how it is, man. Always look up. That's how you've got, I put Snoopy, you know, the Snoopy look up, don't forget to look up. I put like, on my Facebook post, always like, good night, don't forget to look up. And then I've started putting stuff. Don't forget to look up.
Well, they brought that filling out as well, didn't they, taking the pace?
Don't look up. Don't look up. And the reason why is because from 2:10 to 12 we entered into that period of Aquarius, which Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth said.
Down. You go up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So, yeah. So he's pointing there, so we'll move. And there's the sun, the journey of the sun and the moon. And now this is an 11th century one in Sweden, so it's not just unique. Here's what I've stuck this one in for. The tree of life is not just unique to what we think India and South America and the Mayans and all that. It's here as well, which we don't really think it. But look at that, look at the detail on that. And it's got the same thing, it looks like hearts, 3 hearts. Because the Nordic people and the British people, the Gaels of France, who became the French, they understood the 3 hearts. You'll see the 3 symbolism everywhere. The fleur de lis has the 3. The 3 was the 3 coils. We've seen that on the tree. This is why I was trying to show it. There's lots of swirls and coils, but there's 3 things that hold it all together. There's 3 buds as such. And you see this in Buddhism because they have the Buddha, and you have the 6 buds, which is 369's all being a code, but this is all DNA code as well. It's like our DNA.
369 was what Tesla was trying to say was the one. Tesla?
Was that Tesla? This is Tesla's design right there.
Yeah, I see it.
This is power.
Yeah.
And here's the electrical charges.
Yeah.
And this is what they still call them nodes. And ley lines are called nodes, where 2 energies pass over. And when we get our head around what are the energies on ley lines, we're surrounded by standard stones everywhere. Anywhere in Europe you go. But what we're not realising is these are energies that are they're there to transmit energies. They're there to balance the energies. They're all around us. And we need to forget what the standing stones are. And a lot of the standing stones like that, this would have been a standing stone somewhere. It shows you, a lot of the Pictish stones actually show you the stories. So our ancestors left them for us. And it's only when you study them you begin to see they're all telling the same, all over the world. They're all telling you this journey through the heavens. So here's the Mayan. And I don't know if we picked up last night, but the word Maya, it comes from the star in the Pleiades. All the civilizations, India, is you've got Electra and India and all that. They're in the Pleiades. All the nations, Africa, India, they all come from those constellations. That's where the names come from when you look into it. It's fucking mad. You get into etymology, where the word comes from, the origin of a word. And if you look at the Pleiades, and look at all the names in the Pleiades. My daughter's called Mia, or Maya.
Mia means love.
Yeah, and they all mean something. And then when you read the New Testament, and Jesus says to Peter, do you love me, Peter? Peter is the house of Cephas, Kepha, the house of resurrection. Do you love me, Peter? He asked him 3 times, that picture before. Do you love me, Peter? The reason why is because this is you, this is your soul, this is your spirit, and this is the bit between 1, 2, 3, the Trinity. You've got to.
Judas denies him 3 times.
3 times,
well.
it's the same thing. Yeah. So Judas is running on that. That's the whole story. You're a fucking Judas, you. If you say that to somebody who does the dirty on you, you're a Judas. Why? Because they went and done it on their car and I'll do it my way. Fuck them. I thought you were my pal. You're a fucking Judas, you. Because it's simple. The 3, the Trinity, that picture was before there. The 3 hearts, it's the lower part of your body, which is your soul. And I was trying to say last night, with spirituality, we've lost the idea that the spirit and the soul are 2 separate things. The soul has to be purged. This is where the Catholic Church got the idea of purgatory. Your soul has to, as such, this is the right hand of God, and Aries. You're the right hand of God sitting next to the throne of God. This is the brain, the part of the brain that's logic. It's out of emotion, it's logic, but it's brought balance to everything. And it stands with the sword of truth as justice, everything balanced there. And that's what you're supposed to get to. And this is what the tree represents. There's one side of the tree that represents the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. And how do we journey through the emotions, through the branches of the tree, uniting the 3 parts, in other words, all the chakras. I was saying to Jerry, these things that rule us, they're bred with us, interbred with us, so they must have feelings, and they must have chakras and stuff like that, because they've interbred with us probably for a couple of thousand years. We've only been in slavery a couple of thousand years. That's what I worked to it, but that's just my calculations. But they can't go past, if anybody knows anything about the chakras, the solar plexus represents the Son of God. It's God. They can't get past the solar plexus at all. But we are the sons of God. We're the Beni Elohim. So we're born with absolute divine knowledge. We don't have sin at all. It does not exist. We're born with the solar plexus fully illuminated. And then by 7-year-old, they brainwash us and kill us. They're not killing us. They're cold as dead. But all we've done is stuck in our sonship. This is what Jesus talks about. You're in your sonship, you're in your solar plexus. But we know, if you're into the stuff like that, the chakras and that, you'll know that the next one from the solar plexus is the green. And the green moves you, green. Look at, I was saying to Jerry and all about the traffic lights. When you're a child, we know these things, it's programmed into us, but we just don't think. You're sitting in the back of your car, and the traffic lights, ready, steady, go! We used to say it when you were a child, It's a game that happens when you're travelling, So you've got your red traffic light, amber, this is what we're born in. You're born in the solar, we're in the amber. You are the amber. What's an amber? An amber is a precious gem. So to the Creator, you're a precious amber gem. And you're ready, get set. That's how we're born. We're the traffic lights and such. And where we're heading for, go! It's the green. That's only the start. But it's even in the traffic lights. And
the green's the heart.
And the green's the heart. When the Queen died, when she disappeared, that Queen. When the goddess died, or pretended to die, before it she what a treat. Everybody must have seen it. She went to the palace.
And everything.
And she lit it up. What colour of dress was she wearing? Green. A couple of weeks before that, she went to the Canary Wharf, right? And she opened up a new building. It was to do with time. It was a clock of some sort. And she went there and she was dressed like a canary, bright yellow. What's the yellow? The yellow's the solar.
Yeah.
Then before she died, she appeared in the green, lit the tree. Very steady go. The game we used to play as kids, in a car, in a vehicle. This is a vehicle. We're stuck in the back seat of the vehicle. But the signs have all been there for us, and it's all to do with the chakras, and this is what every tree shows us. And some of them are so detailed, they'll even show you the 9 realms. This is a Nordic one, so there will be 9 realms. You know? And the 9 realms are the 7 planets that interfere with them. Each of them have their own realm, plus the sun and the moon has its own realm. And this is how the Nordic people see Midgard, Asgard, and so on. And this is how Hindus see Nirvana, all the different levels. There's 9 levels. And there is 9 levels, and the first level is down in the Isle of Wight. When you know the stuff I know, the first level begins in the Isle of Wight. Ready, steady, go. And we're all taking this journey through the tree. Every day, we need to know the sun rises up, it goes, and then disappears up. And that's the journey we're taking, and that's what I'm going to try and show once we get on it. So move away from these trees. It's just the same, it's all over the world. Pomegranates. Pomegranates represent, in Judaism, they say a pomegranate has 613, you can Google it. They say that when you cut open a pomegranate, it's 613 seeds. It's also the geometry of an octagon and all that kind of stuff, like a beehive. But 613 is what the Jews say is the commands in the calendar. So a pomegranate represents the fruit of life. In fact, the original tree, and whatever the fruit of knowledge, Sophia was all contained within a fruit, and it was a fruit. It's a sexual activity as well, it was. when we fell into the, whatever, it was something to do with sexual. But all the knowledge is contained, supposed to be in a pomegranate. And this is Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan. So all these ideas came from here, but they were exiled everywhere, you know. And this is where you get Apple computers as well, because the pomegranate is an apple, type of apple. And there's the Nordic. What was I going to? But see, notice the serpent. But there's not just one serpent. But notice there's one going down. Where does it come from? A white light. And then you've got this other one. And see how they're showing you the electrical charges there. This is the underworld. And we're ruled by the gods or the governments that rule the underworld. We live on a tree. The whole earth is a tree, and Britain is the tree. But we live on a... What shape is the earth? Is it flat? Is it round? It's a tree. This is how our ancestors seen it. Everybody's talking about the flat earth, the globe earth. You know, it's flat. I'm not going to... Our consciousness creates the boundaries and everything. We're gods. But if you look at it, you see the 2 serpents on the tree. And it's going back to Genesis. It's exactly the same as what we're seeing in Genesis. So, and there it is again. See how there's a gateway. Remember the saying that Osiris, or it could have been Horus, he's sitting there like that, with a little door. See here? The Egyptians called it the 9 gates. Again, the number 9. 9's a magic number, we know that, everybody knows 3, 6 and 9. If you only understood the significance of 3, 6, 9, you unlock the key to this universe. And this is it, this is the key, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. Tesla's, has anybody seen the animation with Tesla's thingy? The 3, 6, 9?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at where the 3, 6, see it now?
Yeah.
3 is down here, your first 3 lower chakras. Your 6 is you've conquered everything. And your 9, you conquered the 7 chakras plus the sun and the moon. And you enter into Nirvana, paradise. It's all in geometry there. I'll try and find that. Even, like, this is shite. Darwinism, we know Darwinism's shit,
Yeah.
but even Darwinism copies the tree. They still group everything into this concept of a great tree. And that's what I'm trying to get across. We've lost this. Ancestrally, genetically, DNA, everything is the tree. So, what was this tree? Don't need to say about that. Where was the tree? Was the tree even real? And I said last night, these carvings weren't just, they were etched out of the rock. They took extreme, did they have the technology? This is another thing, people go away often one. They must have had technology like this to build this, and they probably did, or they had the knowledge anyway of how to use water, pressure, lasers. They did. This is what they're hiding from us, But it's the time that they took, and not just that, the volume. If you go to Iraq today, or if you went to Afghanistan, you could still probably pull these tablets out of the ground today, because that was the culture worldwide. Everybody knew we were exiled to the tree, and everybody worshipped a god. And it was because of the gods that we were exiled to the tree.
It's no coincidence that all the wars take place where they see something destroy all
To destroy it all.
Just get rid of it, just get rid of it.
Yeah. Because it was never there,
We create a...
So this is handbags. I'll talk about the handbags. We tell ourselves we've got baggage through life, and this is what this is about. I mentioned it last night, but some of the handles are squint, they're no use for carrying anything. But here as well, this is why I put this on. See the clock? This is the sun disk that you've seen on top. Remember on top the bird? And you see that, and the Nazis, they used that, the swastika with the bird, the eagle. America still uses it today. They use the bird, the same bird. But that's that with the disc in the middle. And people think it's a sun disc or it's a watch. You get a lot of people online saying, oh, where's the handbags? What's the handbags all about? And what's the watches? They had watches back then. It isn't, it's the timekeeper. They are the watchers. There is such a people as angels called the watchers, and that's who they are. They're the watchers, and they're the keeper of Arthur's wheel, what we would call Arthur's knights, the Knights of the Round Table, where we get the idea of the Templars from, Knights Templar, because it all comes back to Arthur. And so there was 12 gods, or maybe 13 gods, each representing a house, and they protected and watered the tree for Arthur. And this is what this is here. This is it here. The clock. They're telling us on their wrists what they're wearing, and the bags are this is your soul. You've got to come with your soul, with your vessel empty. That's who you are. That's what the bags are. And you could almost say that these are our ancestors.
That's what we all are, which the vessel.
We're the vessel. But it's like our ancestors are bringing us in these pictures. These would represent us.
Conduit.
This is why it's conduit, yeah, the chariot, when in ancient history, when you took over a civilization, so when the Macedonians took over the Greeks or whatever, what they did is they made them a vassal state. That's the term they use, vassal state, meaning that they had all divine power and authority, but they were just a vessel for the divine. And that's what we are, we're a vessel. We're a subservient for the divine, that's really what we are. And this is what this is. This is the vessel that's to serve for the divine purpose. And what is the divine purpose? To take the fruit from the tree. So the fruit will grow, continue to grow, but we must pick the fruit. This is what we were given. And the gods, the Elohim, which is what it talks about in Genesis 1. We're going to go into Genesis 2 and show where the difference is. It's a different God in Genesis 2. I might be able to teach you a wee bit of Hebrew, I don't know, we'll see. But that's the plan. So the watch, and it's Arthur again, that's why I'm pointing to that, it's Arthur. So, why would the ancestors worldwide go to such extreme to leave some carvings? It's exactly the same image wherever we go in the world. Angelic beings, lesser gods, and they seem to be the caretakers of the tree. These things, they aren't destroying the tree wherever you go, they seem to be doing something in the tree. Serving the tree. They're not the Anunnaki, because that puts us in a fear that we think we're controlled by Anunnaki and gods. No, this is what I'm trying to show. Genesis 1 only describes the Elohim making the creation. We're going to have to run through that. I'm going to have to run through those verses and show you. You can't see it any other way. But the Elohim who creates this. And the question is, who is the Elohim? Who are all these beings? What are they really? It's not the Anunnaki. It's not gods that rule us. We are all the Elohim. We are the Beni Elohim, which means the sons of God. But they've hidden our identity. and made us human under the law, a vessel, human, owned, a vessel that's owned. We're not a vessel that's owned. There's only one being that owns us, and that's you. Because you were given divine right by a creator to manifest that creator's divine will I am. That's who you are. But they've hidden this and made us human, and less than human in a lot of cases. And I'm trying to show that you are the gods that manifest the Almighty Creator. And I'm going to show you. So it reminds me of another story and another garden and a tree. The images in this garden is identical to the Mayan, the Incan, the Sumerian, Babylonian, Mesopotamian, Indian, Chinese. They're all the same imagery, and it's just that we've been indoctrinated. And this is my background as biblical researcher. I used to be a theologian in Christianity and Judaism. So my background is theology, just tearing apart the words of the Bible. And this is the only reason why I'm here today, because I can read the languages, Aramaic, I can read Greek, I can read a bit of Arabic. I'm good with languages. And if it wasn't for my understanding the languages, I wouldn't have seen that I was indoctrinated, and we're all indoctrinated. But the biggest indoctrination is the idea of God and who we are. That's the biggest hurdle that everybody's got right now. They don't realise it, because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's written by men, I don't want to look at it. Or, there's stuff like that. The Bible is just, causes division, or Babel. It is Babel.
Babylonian days, that's why.
It's Babel. It is Babel. But it's Babel written down for us to know it, to decipher it, to get us out of this bubble. So it reminds me of another book which we've been indoctrinated to think. And when you think of that book, the first thing we think of is sin. We're sinners, because somebody said to us, who told you that you were naked? And so for a lot of people, they don't want to look at the Bible. They know the stories, they don't want to look at it, and they get to this bit, and then they read all the slaughters and all the other things that go on, and think, that's some God. I've had it all my life, people say, how can you even think of like a creator? And I had to struggle through all that. Why would a creator want all these animals slaughtered? And it's only now that I understand the heavens and understand the Bible, that all the animals are in the ark, and the ark is in the heavens. So all the sacrifices is the animal nature that we have to go through. It's not God asking for any animal sacrifice. That's just a maniac, yeah. But that's what's taught, because they don't read it properly. But I'm going to show you why they think that. Who are they worshipping at? So we'll examine a tree. There's 4 things we want to look at. I want to look at the tree. We know that the tree's Britain, right? So that is it. Britain is a tree. I've got maps here. I'll show the spine of Albion and why the trees. Because some people might have went away last night and thought, all right, I get that, but where's the tree? The tree's the spine of Albion. The 33 ley lines, 33 vertebrae that go up, 33 points. So in the Bible story, there's a tree. Who cursed who in that story? Right? Who get barred? I'm using these words deliberate. Who get barred for the tree? Because the tree was the level, the bar, the law. Everything we needed, it was the level, the law. You're on the level. You're on the tree. Yeah, So, who barred who put... That's what we're going to kind of look at. And the 4th thing that I'm going to look at is who get evicted. Who get put out the big brother house. So, who get put out the garden? Where do they get put out to? What does it tell us? So the only way you can do that is by reading it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it up. So we're going to play a game, but we're not going to do that. We're going to get used to play bingo. So we're not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the video on. And we'll go back to that. And the video is just the reading of... Oh, let's shut that another. The reading of Genesis 1. Now don't worry, I'm going to stop it. It's in Hebrew. The idea was to have you playing, like, I'm going to print it all up and you can circle it. There's 31 verses there. So I was going to print it up. It's going to take too much to print all that up. And as the word come up, we'll hear it. As the word come up, Elohim, which means God. every time you hear it, you just circle it. I've already highlighted it on the printed bits of paper that I was going to print it. It's on the screen as well, so you don't really need it. You see it highlighted. But if you sit there, and I'll take my time slow, I'll play it a couple of times. Try and count how many times you see the word Elohim, and then we'll move it into Genesis 2, and we'll look and see what happens. Something changes. I have to do this because I can't teach you Hebrew, and I can't tell you that Hebrew is it. It's a Gaelic language, right? But I can show you what I've learned. That we come to chapter 2 and things change altogether. It's a different God. And that's what the world's worshipping. But if we only knew who the God in the first one was, it's no like an individual God, it's us. It's Elohim, it's our consciousness, it's a collective consciousness. And then suddenly something comes in and steals that consciousness, which is connected to the tree. And that's what I'm hoping to show, that you will be able to say, holy fuck, I see the difference. It says God, but it's a different spelling. That's what I'm hoping to show you. So, right, so, here we go. Right. Bereshit bara Elohim. See this word here? This word here is Elohim. This is Genesis 1. Right? El, which represents the Aleph, the bull. The Lamed represents the shepherd's crook, the shepherd's rod. That represents the El. The Ha represents the breath of life. Chi energy. Ya, that's a yes sound. That represents the hand of God, or the hand of the Creator. And that means the full circle, us. And it also represents the word memory. Right? So Elohim, right? The electric breath and memory. If you want to break words down, because that's what I do. That's what language is. Yes. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm doing it now because it's beautiful actually. Because the L is what we are. We're the L. We're the electricity. We're electromagnetic beings. So here's the magnetism, Mary Magdalene, the water. Here's the L, and what connects the Mary Magdalene and the water. Back to the ski that I was talking about earlier. Yeah? The spirit, the chi, the breath. The breath. And that word breath is where we get the word gale, or ghost, or ghoul. The old word ghoul, the holy ghoul is the word gale. And where's the gales? The spine of Albion, the tree in the middle. And we need to unite the L, electricity, with the memory, the hand, or the handmaiden. Because this word represents the hand.
Which is the prism.
Which is the prism. Yeah. So the Elohim, this is us.
Become the divine.
We're the divine. So you've got the divine feminine here. And this is the first word. This is Genesis 1. Does it say? Genesis 1. This is the very first word. So this word here is Bereshit bara. Barack Obama, we had baraka, it means to create or lightning. Right? So what we've got here is Berosh with the head. This is what it really says, doesn't it? It says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. It does say that, right? That's what it says in basic. But what it really says is Be, which means a house, in this house, which is constellation. Rosh means the word Roslyn, Rosh, Roslyn Chapel. The word Rosh means head or prime. This is why we've got prime ministers. This is why we've got prime ministers and presidents, because it means that there is the in, on, with. That's what it means. In, on, or with. That word there, Rosh, means head. If you go to anywhere in Scotland, you'll find Rosyth, Rosneath, Ross-shire, the very top of the head. Scotland's the head. The rest of Britain is the body. It's written in the names too. But this is the first words. With the head. With the head created the Elohim. Or with thought. Thought's the first god of Egypt there. With Thoth. Thoth. That's what that says there. I've known this for 20 odd years, and it's nice to share it, but that it says with consciousness. I'm trying to make it as pictural. That means a house. The house is a constellation. That represents Arthur, really. I know that now. That represents the centre of time, the wheel and clock, the house that holds everything together. And from the house, from Arthur, the great head, the bar, the bear, from him, the word bar means son in Hebrew as well, but it's a legal term, bar, the bar. The word bar backwards is rabbi. Scotland has Rabbi Burns, and we all have these names, but it's all a game. But this is who we are, we're the electric breath.
You just said it there. Go on, kid.
It's a game. And this is, we have to understand that we're the electric breath, male and female. This is a man.